Well, it was amazing. That was really a tale of two anthems. The French, cool, calm, collected, absolutely passionate about what they're going to do. The Argentines, on the other hand, so much passion, so much excitement, almost bursting out of their skin. It's either going to go into the anthem they've just sung or it's going to be taken right out on the French.
Well, anyone who doubted the intensity that the Argentinians were going to take into this match, doubt no more. They are wound up, aren't they?
Coached by Marcelo Lafreda. There's the Argentinians, their skipper, of course, Augustin Pichot, who plays at this very ground for Stade Francais.
Again, I talked about very briefly the power of the French midfield, the Contepomi brothers.
Pichot, he's been involved in 4 Rugby World Cups, the little halfback, but he'll need a good platform from his scrum as well, and some of those big boys up front, the likes of Ledesma and Roncero, they have plenty of experience.
Now, we talked before this game about a bloodbath, and we really meant that, not in a nasty way, but we knew it was going to be a brutal exchange, and you will see a fair bit of that in this game. It was quite a tactical battle, it was a tough battle, but we saw some amazing flowing rugby from broken play. This is something to look forward to. France versus Argentina, and Rupert is joined in commentary by Ben Tune and Ben Darwin.
This is a truly monstrous stadium as well. The Argentines must really feel in the middle of it.
Have a listen to this crowd.
The whistle blows and the 6th Rugby World Cup is underway. Argentina flying high. They take the early ball through Roncero. A settler for Roncero and for the man they call El Majo, Hernandez, with an early touch finder, and that's a good kick from the Puma 5/8.
Fantastic clearing kick by Hernandez, exactly what the doctor ordered. This much pressure, you want to get your first touch out of the way, you want to get your first kick out of the way. Awesome result for Argentina.
Now try to get a line-out call going in this kind of noise. You see the Argentines there sitting flat to the defence as a defending team.
And great work from Aeronautica, although he lost it on the way down. Pichot picks up, takes the opportunity, kicks ahead. Aymans is back there for the French. And he's ankle tapped by Pichot. So an early opportunity for the Pumas. The French have it, but the Pumas pouring on the pressure. And Scrella finds touch for the French. That relieves the pressure for them.
Well, what a massive play there by the Argentines. Nice double team on the line out. Pichot chasing through.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to split hairs, you could argue that Aymans was actually, I guess, tackled while he was on the ground. He wasn't allowed to get to his feet first, but again, that's splitting hairs.
Pichot playing his 4th Rugby World Cup. He didn't get too much game time in 1995, but he is a man of great experience as the Pumas do well. The counter drive from Argentina. That's Ledesma.
Stay.
So Argentina with an early opportunity. Well, that's an interesting option. The left-footed drop goal. And the mark is paid by Tony Spregri. Hernandez tried for the drop goal, didn't even quite get the distance, Junie.
Yeah, I think a little bit premature. I think Argentina were on a little bit of a roll there. All you really have to do is hang on to the ball for a while. I can guarantee you this referee will give somebody a penalty fairly shortly.
Well, we knew this World Cup might be decided by drop goals, but quite a bit of surprise there by them going so early. I'm really interested by both teams' line-out setups at the moment. They're both facing each other flat to not give each other a sense of where they're going to go. You see them just lining up there, facing one another. You normally do this when you're close to your own line, but both teams are going up in defence and attack.
The early territory with the Argentinians as Ledesma finds his man in Fernandez Lobe. They take it forward, the Pumas. The pick and the drive. This big, strong forward pack. Famous for its confrontational value up front. Pichot wants it now. Hernandez. And once again, the kick is the option. It's charged down by the French. And now they have the ball through Dominici.
Well, Hernandez, of course, used to playing at fullback, not used to having to play with such little time and space.
Mignoni comes to the left. And the first penalty of the match. The French attacking player isolated. And so Tony Spreadbury extends his arm towards Argentina.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a negative tactic, but going for 2 drop goals within the first 3 minutes, they obviously just want to get up on the board and get the crowd quiet, as you said earlier, Cheney.
I guess so, do I? I mean, I did notice the Argentinian backline was very deep. I just thought they'd chance their hand first up, test out the French backline. I know the French backline come up very fast. I just think they're a little bit rattled. And as I said, Hernandez just isn't used to playing with such little time and space.
So you see plenty of emotion on the field tonight and in the coach's box. Bernard Laporte visibly disappointed with that penalty being given away. And Contepomi, prolific point scorer for Argentina in the history of his rugby career, gets the first opportunity to put points on in the 2007 Rugby World Cup. Felipe Contepomi does exactly that. The flags are raised for the first time in 2007, and Argentina have the early lead over the French. It's Argentina 3, France 0.
Well, we talk so often about getting in the opposition red zone, getting within their 40 and coming out with points. Argentina will be happy. They're up 3-0.
Absolutely, Jordan. Especially within the first 5 minutes, you know the referee is going to give a penalty. You just want to have the ball inside the opposition's, hopefully, maybe 30, 20 metre mark.
And having put those 3 points on the board from the restart, the Pumas unable to capitalise, knocking the ball on, and so this scrum will pack down. Mignoni has the ball and the French an attacking opportunity.
Awesome opportunity here for the French backline to have a decent crack.
The pick and the drive from Aeronautica.
Advantage, leave it alone.
Once again, the advantage to the home side, the French. And the penalty accrues, so...
Leave it on the floor. You're off the feet, no problem. Don't touch it on the floor.
Now David Scrella will have the opportunity to equal things here at Stade de France.
On the floor, plays the ball.
The first time the French have been in the Argentinian half, and they have an opportunity to score. Scrella lining up the kick.
Scrella makes no mistake, and the big crowd at Stade de France roar their approval. Bernard Laporte looks a little bit happier with that, and it's 3-3 now, 7 minutes gone in the opening match of this Rugby World Cup.
You get the impression even after 7 minutes that this World Cup, especially this opening game, is going to be all about field position.
So once again the restart, this time a little bit sloppy from the French, but it's cleaned up by Ibanez. Scrella happy to put it downfield, hasn't found touch, so Argentina return the kick. Aeronautica fumbles, but that ball's knocked back, so play on, says the referee. Mignoni, Scrella, they're going to run at the French. Martin takes the tackle of Contepomi.
On your feet, oh, move away, tackle, move!
To the right, they spread it. Scrella, dummies. The pass to Mignoni, and that is sloppy from the French. The referee playing advantage.
Stay there.
Fernandez Lobe finds his support. Contepomi, advantage over, says the referee, back inside to Borges.
Advantage on your feet.
Pichot puts a little kick through. It's fielded by David Scrella, but the referee was playing advantage once again, and this time the penalty to the Pumas.
Great little darting run there by Philippe Contepomi. Fantastic little flick pass. Spanish flair coming out.
Of course, Felipe Contepomi, his twin brother, Manuel Contepomi, is in the centres with him this afternoon. Or this evening, I should say, at Stade de France. You'd expect they have a great understanding. Cedric Aymans was the French player penalised.
You really get the sense at the moment that the opportunities for the Argentines are going to be through broken play, whether it's through a chip through and a mistake by the French. They pick and they shift, drop ball. They've just got to take every opportunity they can. What an amazing inside pass.
During, of course, that opportunity was opened up by mistake by David Skrella. Took the ball into contact himself. There's a general rule that as 10, you're obviously crucial to your side's control and what you do with the ball in hand. You have to try to avoid contact at all possibilities. He just caught up there, got a little bit flustered, and the turnover resulted.
Contepomi gets the left to right, happening once again. And so Argentina regain the lead as they celebrate in the stands. Both countries represented here. It's Argentina 6, France 3. So a solid scrum by Argentina. They keep it in tight.
Leave it, France, leave it, France. Leave it.
They're right on the 22.
Leave it, more. No. Still in. That's it, yeah.
Pichot lets the forwards do the work. Great atmosphere here at Stade de France.
You can see the Argentines here just trying to engage the French forwards as much as they can.
Now
Set themselves
Pichot.
up.
Hernandez back inside to Contepomi. Great defence from the home side. Remy Martin instrumental. They come back to the right, and Contepomi this time barreled by Serge Betson. And here come the French. They turn it over. Mignoni, Skrella, the space out wide. Back inside comes Trey. The pass to Martin. Here's Aeronautica. The French through Aymans. Rougerie. The crowd roar. Mignoni back to the left. Martin. And there's a turnover, so the support not there for the French on that occasion.
Well, the power of turnovers. As soon as you've got a turnover, shift, pass the ball, get it down the other end of the field.
And I think we saw a little glimpse there of what the French are capable of with ball in hand. The Argentinians, the back line, they're just playing way too deep. The French back line, or the French team in general, very quick up off the line. They're just giving away too much of the advantage on the Argentinians.
Well, this is going to be the World Cup of the offload. They've just kept shifting all the time, keep changing the point of attack. Nice clean out. They probably should have gone wide at this stage, but they instead engage at the second or third defender. Unfortunately, turnover came.
Definitely should have gone wide there, Dawn. You'd find if we pan out here, the French have 4 or 5 players wide there. The Argentinians had 3.
So we've seen some excitement from both backlines in the first 12.5 minutes of this Rugby World Cup opener, but also the sign of nerves. A few little knock-ons creeping into the game of both teams.
It's really going to come down to the team that settles down first and just gets on with the business, because at the moment, as Dawes said, they're both playing like they're absolutely off their tree in terms of nerves and enthusiasm.
Reset, please. Time in. Well, that's tight, sir.
Argentina with the heavier pack by about 20 kilos in this engagement. And I have the lead as well, but France has the ball.
The French solid in this scrum.
Stay in the scrum.
It's gone the full 90 degrees, Dawes, so we're going to see it again.
Well, what I like about this Argentine pack in the front row is they try to get vertical on you. They try to get underneath Ibanez and lift him up. We saw that in the last scrum. The tight head Skelzo is going to try to take an inside channel, see if it comes up again.
Stay on the scrum, stay down.
Oh, Pichot anticipated that beautifully. Hernandez. Here they come, the Argentinians. Or they've knocked it on, and so the French prey on the turnover. The ball's there for Mignoni. Martin getting through a truckload of work.
No, that's fine, stay there. No release, let it come back.
The Pumas doing everything they can to get their hands on the ball, but the referee can't see it coming out of that breakdown, and so a scrum will pack down. France to have the feed.
Well, nice amount of pressure here from the Argentine scrum. Pichot just standing there. The ball flicked directly back to him. Easy play and a nice offload again.
Fantastic work by Pichot. Again, the Argentinians letting themselves down with a turnover ball when they're on the front foot.
These sides have a great rivalry.
There wasn't even an E. No engage was spoken, both sides.
And you can see that rivalry manifesting in the scrum battle. The crowd roar. Aranaudici picks and hands it off to Trey. Mignoni digs in, feeds Palouse. France's most capped rugby player. Back inside, Mignoni to Ibanez.
Last one. That's fine, you're fine.
Betson hands it to Mignoni. And once again, Josian makes the mistake this time. Argentina play on. Down the left-hand side they go. This is Fernandez-Lobe. Pichot finds his support. Good straight running from the Pumas.
Space out wide now if they use it.
Once again, the pick and the drive from Fernandez-Lobe. They settle things down, the Pumas. Pichot. Contepomi. He kicks to the right. Here comes Borges. But the ball bounces and beats Damien Trey into touch as the blood streams down his face. If that's not a blood bin, I've never seen one.
Well, Argentines a terrific opportunity. Probably should have shifted the ball earlier.
Ledesma, the Puma hooker, a veteran of a few Rugby World Cups. That experience will come in handy this afternoon.
Get away, three, don't collapse, six! Go on! Stay
The
there.
drive of the Puma pack, that's what they're renowned for. Once again, the high ball is the option from Hernandez. Contepomi knocks it back for Fernandez-Lobe.
Away, stay on, hands away, leave it! No. Stay there.
Pichot.
Stay there.
The drop goal is the option again for the Pumas. That one's gone out to the right off the boot of Contepomi. He shakes his head. A questionable option. They still lead by 3.
Okay, all right.
Well, 75% of this game has been played in French territory. Australia played a game very similar to this in South Africa during the Tri-Nations, and they're in it right to the end. And what beat them? Drop goals. This will be interesting.
Estiglia. Van Ledesma, Pichot, Hernandez.
Wait!
Once again, he hoists it high. Aymans is underneath it, and the French fullback is paid the mark. His left boot remains in the field of play. Coletto once again puts it high in the sky. Coletto regains. Great skills from the Puma fullback, Contepomi. Argentina hot on attack. They've had plenty of opportunities early in this match. The Pumas, they go left. Contepomi, the little kick through. And the French will clean things up, only succeeding though in taking it back across the line. And an Argentinian scrum.
The Argentinians have seen them use the up and under a couple of times. The first time we saw them use it, the chase was abysmal, which made the kick absolutely pointless. The second time, A great chase. They regathered, and look at the opportunity they've got.
It seems to me, Chinny, that they're going for the midfield bombs. They probably feel Emans is not the best guy in terms of taking that ball. It's worked on a couple of occasions, but what they're lacking at the moment is the ability to finish, to get that score, to basically get a try by shifting the ball, shifting the point of attack.
Manuel Contepomi receiving some treatment. He signals his intentions that he wants to get on with it, and so Argentina defeat this scrum.
Well, the ultimate in forward play is a scrum on your own line. Fantastic pressure through the left-hand side. Turnover.
Oh, that's a wonderful scrum from the French. And Arenordiki picks, but then turns it over. Contepomi. The Argentinians have it. Pichot. Fernandez Lobe. They're 5 out, the Argentinians.
There's some mismatch.
And here they come, Hernandez. Goes wide to Borges. Steps one, Borges. 3 metres away. Corletto dives in. Advantage being played. Manuel Contepomi. And Tony Spreadbury blows his whistle for a penalty. Pichot entertains the idea of playing on quickly, but common sense prevails.
Well, if I was Malou, I would be absolutely filthy at Arenordiki.
That many? Post?
They're going for the kick, but realistically, Malou absolutely took Skelsgo to school there at that scrum. Got the turnover, and then Arenordiki went for the run. Didn't hold on to the ball properly. Turnover. Argentina almost scored.
I mean, Dawn, what would that do to the Argentinians' confidence? Scrum time. It's obviously one of their biggest weapons. It gets destroyed here. What would that do to their confidence as a team?
Well, what it does for a front row is it completely scrambles your brain. The next couple of breakdowns, all you're thinking about is how much I've stuffed up in that play. I've let down my teammates. Fortunately, they got the ball back.
Well, they got the ball back, the Pumas, and they have the opportunity. But I wonder if that will be a significant factor for the rest of this match. Rodrigo Roncero, the Argentinian prop, looking a little bit confused when that one broke down. Arenordiki turned it over. And the Pumas. Through Contepomi. Shaves the left hand upright. But on the right side of that particular post, it's Argentina 9, France 3.
Behind.
There's no doubt Argentina playing great rugby, but France is arguably a stronger opponent to themselves in this game. It's 9-3, and they are fighting hard to stay in contention with this game, but the potency is still there, and Trey is yet to come back from the blood bin.
So all points to Argentina, courtesy of the boot of Felipe Contepomi, as Cedric Amans employs the left boot. Leguizamon back inside to Hernandez. And that's a big kick from Hernandez. Dominici plays on quickly. And the French engage in a good old-fashioned kicking duel. Leguizamon. He doesn't want to kick it. He runs it straight back into the teeth of the French defence. The Pumas have it. Pichot. He's been everywhere in the early exchanges of this match. Augustin Pichot. Skrella couldn't hang on to that one, but
Lost ball.
Channeled it back to his side. They come to the left, and Trey, who is back on the field now, Damien Trey, sends it back to Mignoni. He finds Skrella, and well, side of the boot from Skrella. He's not having a very happy start to this match.
Well, Chinny, if there's a battle going on in terms of a kicking goal duel right now, Argentina's winning it.
So there's a player from Argentina lying prone on the pitch. 9-3 they lead, and the Puma supporters in the crowd celebrate.
An opportunity here for France to regain some composure, yet to identify the player involved here. Borges was involved in that tackle. on Trey, who had only just returned to the field. I think Borges got the worst of that exchange, but you can see the trainer running on because to the left of that, a player went down.
Taking their time with this Argentinian player lying on the ground, and boys, the French have been their own worst enemies. Whenever they've had an opportunity through attack or a big scrum, they've turned it over.
Yeah, that's right, Rupert. We're 25 minutes into the first half now, the opening Rugby World Cup game, and to be honest, the standard has not been fitting of the occasion, let me say that. You could probably allow 5 or 10 minutes, a bit of a settling period, but this poor standard of play now is dragging on for too long. Both teams need to get their act together.
Less than 15 to go in the first half. Ledesma. Well, Remy Martin did so well. Feeds it back to Ibanez, his skipper.
Move! Move! Yeah, okay. Stay there.
Mignoni. The sharp pass to Strela, who hoists it high. Well, Pichot and Borges ran into each other. Pichot comes away with it. Corletto does the honours at halfback.
Come on.
Back to Hernandez. And Hernandez puts some ice on it. Well, Amens went flying through the sky, but the French come away with it through Trey. Martin intercepted by the Argentinians. It's Contepomi. Argentina through Corletto. The Argentinian fullback will score the first try of the Rugby World Cup in 2007. Ignacio Corletto posts the first 5-pointer. And the Puma supporters celebrate in the crowd. Argentina 14, France 3.
Well, we knew the Argentines had to take an opportunity. We didn't know it'd come through a double turnover. They've been going for this midfield bomb all day. They thought the French had made a massive break. One pass to Martin, looks to make it to the open side. Turnover. The great part is here, they shift and they shift the acceleration through to the try line.
Well, they are the ultimate in opportunists, aren't they? Fantastic pass by Martin, by the way, just happened to be to the wrong team. Fantastic take, and as you said, their interchange of passing, once they get a sniff, they're very hard to stop.
Well, so often we talk about the left to right being the weak pass for players. Martin just looped that one right up into the hands of the Argentinians.
Corletto playing fullback this evening for the Argentinians, has played on the wing. Scores the first try of the Rugby World Cup in 2007. Contepomi, well, that hits the posts and is waved away. Michael Jones, back in 1987, scored the first try in Rugby World Cup history. He scored the first in 1991 again. In 2003, of course, Wendell Saylor had the honours against the Argentinians, but Ignacio Corletto ignites his home nation and scores the first try at Stade de France. A change there from Argentina. Fernandez Lobe is off. Alvarez Carreras takes his place as the French look to bounce back. Strela back inside to Josillon. They're rattled, the French, at the moment.
The biggest problem the French have now is the fact that the Argentinians believe they can win this game.
I'm sure that Argentina, in their game plan, would have loved France to be playing catch-up football. That's exactly what we're seeing. The onus now on the French. The great expectation from the home crowd. Strela bursts through. David Strela finds his support. Aeronautica. He's bundled back towards the ruck. Right on the 22, Mignoni. Strela. Out wide they go. Martinez out there.
He wasn't going to pass it that time.
Stay on, Scott. Push back, lads.
To the left they come through. Rougerie.
Argentina release.
The blind winger looking to get a touch on the ball and earns the penalty for his side as Tony Spreadbury presents an opportunity for the French to put 3 on the scoreboard.
Well, the French are doing exactly what they should do when you're trying to play catch-up football. The answer is you can't. You have to simply go back to the pattern you planned from the start. Let's listen to the referee.
A bit more, okay? Will do. That's fine, yeah. Never been asked to talk more.
The one thing the Argentines can't do here is stop attacking. They have to keep going. They're not good enough to hold the French out for 60 minutes. They've got to keep going, and if this midfield bomb system works, they're up 14-3, they've got to keep going with it.
You're dead right there, Dor. You can see the French, they're desperate to start swinging the ball around. The Argentinians, however, then they've got a bit of a sniff. They're very fast up out of the line. It's putting a lot of pressure on the French in attack.
Tony Sprintbury demanding, having an explanation demanded of him, and he said to the captain, "I've never been asked to speak more as a referee." What an outburst.
Well, communication is challenging with the noise of this big stadium. And they'll roar for that. David Strella settles the ship for the French. They double their score. Still, they find themselves 8 points behind the Argentinians. It's 14-6 at Stade de France.
It's really interesting what you said there, Cheney, is the Argentines probably believe they can win the game. There's a big difference between can and will. I think the French still believe they will win the game, and I think they'll play sensible rugby to get back into it.
Well, they need to start playing some type of rugby, because at the moment, what I'm seeing is not up to scratch.
So Martin from the restart. Mignoni to Strela. The right boot of David Strela finds touch. His father, of course, Jean-Claude Strela, also had the great honour of playing for his country. He follows in his father's footsteps. And they'll need Strela to show the composure and the control out there wearing the number 10 jersey.
They will, and both these sides are extremely experienced. I don't quite understand where these first game nerves are really coming from. Both sides extremely experienced.
Well, it is a Rugby World Cup. You saw the passion in the anthems. The passion when Argentina scored the first try of this World Cup. Once again they go to the sky. Contepomi knocks it back, and the intercept once again. So a comedy of errors finds Contepomi and a penalty to the Pumas. It's a helter-skelter affair, isn't it, at the moment? Every time the French get their hands on the ball, look like they're going to do something constructive, they throw an intercept or turn it over.
Yeah, I must admit, it's not quite the composed French outfit that I was expecting here this evening. Smart move by the Argentinians, have another shot at goal.
Yeah.
Well, they keep peppering them with these midfield bombs, and the French are now and again making the takes. But from here, they need to then either hold on to the ball and then shift, have a bit of faith in their system, get themselves downfield and just keep peppering away at points. What they're trying to do at the moment is score from the second pass.
Patience is the key. That's what it's all about.
So Contepomi contemplates another three-point opportunity for the Pumas, and the more they get themselves ahead of the French, the more rattled the home side may become. Great expectations. This is the pool of death. Ireland also take their part, and this game is vital. And Contepomi, solid as a rock. Another three for Argentina. 17-6 they lead.
Well, France has got that territory stat down to 67% in their half of the field, and you get the feeling if they can control it, which they can't at the moment, they'll get back into it.
Another charge down from the Argentinians. Haven't we seen that this evening? Dominici under so much pressure. Mignoni, Strela finds touch, but the French, well, I've said it a couple of times, they are absolutely rattled.
Well, who would have thought a kick chase or a kick midfield bomb strategy would be working so well against the French? and the chase from the Argentines is superb.
Cedric Amens, well, he is not that familiar with the fullback position. He has played on the wing. Clement Poitrenaud, many thought might have been the first option for Bernard Laporte, and you can see the pressure starting to filter through, and players like that, Tunie.
You certainly can. This is obviously a pressure cooker environment, and there's one thing to be playing in this environment, to be playing out of position in this environment. Another level to that pressure.
So Skrilla relieves the pressure. Remy Martin, well, he's done some good things, but he's also done some bad things for the French, including throwing the intercept which led to the first try.
What we have seen tonight in set piece, scrum and line-out has been parity. No one has been able to basically win their own ball with any level of success. They're both putting enormous amount of pressure on each other, and so the point of difference in this game is the breakdown, the kick chase and the turnover.
So play goes on as a Puma forward receives treatment from the medical staff.
That man's onside because it was over the 50. That man's onside over 50.
Albacete and Leguizamon roll things forward for Argentina. Pichot. Hernandez stabs a little kick into space. One bounce and Amens takes it into touch, although the ball had gone over the sideline, so the line-out throw will go to France.
Well, we saw the level of passion with which the Argentines sang the national anthem. They were ready to go. We know they've got 35 minutes in them, which they've done so far. Have they got 80, or are the French going to come over the top of them?
Penalty to France from that line-out, and isn't that a welcome relief for Les Bleus? The occasion is monumental. And at the moment, so is the task for the French. They're down by 11 points, still plenty of rugby to go. Keep your seatbelts on, folks. This is traditionally a very, very close affair. And France are going to have to come from behind. 3 minutes away from full time.
As you said, Rupert, there is a long time to go. And the last thing, we've said it a couple of times, the last thing the Argentinians can do is go into their shell and not play running rugby, because that's what they're good at.
Serge Betson controlling that ball from the line out. The skipper has it at the back. Rafael Ibanez. And the French will look to that level of experience. The likes of Ibanez and Aeronautica Pelouse to get them back in this match. And that's a big hit from the Argentinian defence as De Filiers is driven back. But the referee to France, how dearly they would love to put some more points on the board before Oranges.
First to ice.
Well, the Argentine side just starting to look a little bit tired so far in this game. Their forward pack's got to keep working as hard as they can. The French are going to try and engage them, no question. They're going to try and go through the middle and then spread the ball.
How many times do we see tries scored in the last 10 minutes of either half? It's absolutely crucial now for the Argentines to ensure the French do not get any points before that half-time whistle blows.
Well, in the Wallabies, they call it the championship minutes. 5 minutes either side of half-time, where you've got to switch on, otherwise you're in trouble.
Of course, you'll see that first Wallaby match on Network 10 as well. Later on tonight, they take on the Japanese, but for now, it's France and Argentina. And the French with final opportunities before half-time. Back inside goes Trey. Mignoni to the right. Was that pass forward? Play on, says the referee.
Leave him.
So Mignoni,
You can't dive over.
his pass was spoiled.
Cannot dive over.
And Tony Spreadbury makes it nice and clear. You cannot dive
Can't
over.
dive over. Can't dive over. Yeah, we can't dive over. Nope. Sorry.
Maybe having a little trouble understanding the English, the Argentinians there, but it was clear to us here in the commentary position, and it's clear to David Skrilla what his option is.
We finally saw the French back line have a little bit of a run there. They just need to be a lot more direct than that. As I mentioned, they've got two big, powerful centres that need to engage their smaller opposite numbers. They need to get this forward pack over the advantage line. If you can get the forward pack moving forward, as simple as it might sound, well then the ball game can open up for you.
Now, from my understanding, the players can, once the ball is in the hands of 9, the players can actually come through the ruck, but I think the referee actually wants a cleaner game from here on in, so he's just not allowing the players to do it.
David Scrella. 80,000 here at Stade de France. Most of them getting behind this kick. And Scrella keeps his 100% record intact. Very, very close to half-time. And that is it. Spreadbury blows the whistle. And France find themselves behind on the scoreboard. 17-9, Argentina lead.